Meg Griffin, the human embodiment of a bad day that never ends. While the rest of her family lives in absurd, consequence-free chaos, poor Meg is stuck being the perpetual loser, the forgotten child, the ultimate victim. Today, we're counting down the top 10 moments where Meg's life went from tragic to someone please call the authorities. These aren't just bad moments, these are straight-up life-ruining events, all wrapped up in the chaotic world of Family Guy. Before we start, Meg would ask you to subscribe, but we all know nobody listens to Meg. So, I'll ask, hit that subscribe button. Kicking things off is Barely Legal, where Meg's desperation for love reaches disturbing new heights.
I should just kill myself!
Oh, that's... come on.
After every guy at school either rejects or straight up laughs in her face, Meg does what any hopeless teen would do. She turns to the family dog, Brian, to take her to prom. And like the sucker he is, Brian agrees, thinking it'll just be a fun little favor.
Sorry, that was the booze, not you. You gonna eat that?
But oh boy, is he wrong. Meg takes this act of kindness as a sign that they're meant to be. What follows is an embarrassing, cringe-inducing descent into full-blown obsession. Meg leaves Brian obsessive, stalker-level voicemails, follows him around town, and even sneaks into his bed one night.
I'm not gonna lie to you here. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Oh, just relax.
It's less unrequited crush and more restraining order waiting to happen. And poor Brian. He has no clue how to escape the Meg Griffin stalker zone.
Brian, you're acting weird.
Oh, come on, that one doesn't even have an H in it.
In Don't Make Me Over, Meg gets a much-needed glow-up that finally allows her to experience what it's like to be noticed, for all the wrong reasons. After a family-wide makeover, Meg comes out looking like a whole new person.
Oh my God, Lois, I'm sorry. It was 20 years ago. I'd never even heard the word rubber.
Peter, this is Meg.
Oh.
Except this time, she's not invisible. Suddenly, all the guys who ignored her are lining up, drooling over her new look. But of course, in classic Meg fashion, the attention comes at a terrible cost. Things go from finally, some validation to, oh no, what have I done? When Meg, now the new it girl, gets invited to perform on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, it all seems like a dream until she unknowingly loses her virginity on live television. That's right, Meg's first time isn't just awkward.
Lois, go grab me another bag of Skittles.
Excuse me, young lady?
Did I freaking stutter? I said more Skittles.
It's broadcast to millions of viewers and she doesn't even realize it until the damage is done. Because who needs privacy or dignity when you're Meg Griffin? Next up is Dial Meg for Murder, where Meg dabbles in the criminal underworld. Well, sort of. When her latest boyfriend turns out to be a wanted fugitive, Meg does what any naive teenager would do.
Now I know that was a joke.
Whatever.
She hides him from the cops. Not surprisingly, this lands her in prison, and what follows is the most dramatic transformation we've ever seen from a Griffin.
Yes, I can, Meg. He's going back to jail.
Meg enters jail as the innocent, awkward girl we all know.
Hi.
Did you also get caught trying to vote in Ohio?
But by the time she comes out, she's a hardened criminal with tribal tattoos and a taste for violence. Seriously, she's swinging a pillowcase full of soda cans like it's an Olympic event, and no one dares to mess with her. But let's be real. Did anyone really believe that Meg could survive prison without turning into a total badass? Even when she's tough, Meg's life is still a disaster. In Friends Without Benefits, Meg finally sets her sights on a guy who doesn't completely ignore her, Kent, the hottest guy at school. Everything seems to be going great, and for once, it looks like Meg might have a shot at love. But in true Family Guy fashion, there's a twist.
Hi, you must be Mrs. Griffin. I'm Kent. I'm here to pick up Meg.
Oh, Kent, it's so nice to meet you. She's just getting ready. Meg, Kent's here.
Just putting on my lipstick. Damn it.
Kent isn't just uninterested in Meg, he's gay. And not just gay, he's in love with, wait for it, Chris, Meg's own brother.
That was fun. We should hang out again sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good night.
Night.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I thought you
I
wanted...
didn't think this was a date.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Yep, Meg can't even have a normal teenage crush without it somehow turning into a full-blown family crisis. Watching Meg desperately try to win over Kent, only to find out she's the third wheel in her own family love triangle, is just peak tragedy. It's the kind of heartbreak that only Meg Griffin could experience, falling for a guy who'd rather date her brother. In this little piggy, Meg's life somehow manages to hit an even lower low when she unknowingly becomes a star at a foot fetish restaurant. Yep, you heard that right. Meg's desperate for cash, so she takes a job at what she thinks is a normal restaurant, only to discover that the patrons are there for one reason, to ogle her feet. And of course, in classic Meg fashion, she has no idea what's going on until her dad, Peter, shows up to rescue her.
Everybody stop what you're doing!
Yeah, or else we'll... That one's wearing goggles.
Mom? Dad? What are you doing here?
I'll tell you what we're doing here. We're protecting our little girl from a lot of guys who I oddly recognize from Best Buy.
If there's one thing worse than having creepy men stare at your feet for money, it's having your dad show up and loudly declare to the entire restaurant that you need to be saved.
Of course, Meg. We love you, sweetheart. And you deserve better than this.
Thanks, you guys.
Meg can't even have a part-time job without it becoming a full-blown catastrophe. It's one of those moments where you just have to ask, why Meg? Why does it always happen to you? In Peter's Daughter, Meg survives a life-threatening coma, only to wake up to one of the most horrifying realizations yet.
Well, hello, sleepyhead. I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael. I'm Meg.
Her father, Peter, has arranged for her to marry a complete stranger. That's right.
I have never been more in love with someone than I am with you right now.
Oh, Michael, I love you too. And I have some wonderful news. I'm not pregnant.
What?
As soon as she opens her eyes, Peter decides to auction her off to the highest bidder, because in his eyes, she's damaged goods now.
Not anymore, you don't, because you're going out with my daughter.
Nothing says, welcome back to the land of the living, like your own father selling you off like a piece of used furniture. And to top it all off, Peter does it with the kind of enthusiasm you'd expect from someone throwing a backyard BBQ.
What's your name, sweetie?
Dad, you know my name.
It's Officer Nasty. Careful, I might be carrying a concealed weapon.
Poor Meg. She literally wakes up from a coma, and the first thing she has to deal with is her dad's insane attempt at matchmaking. In Seahorse Seashell Party, we finally see Meg do something we've all been waiting for. She stands up to her family and lets them have it. After years of being the Griffin family punching bag, Meg unleashes a verbal assault on Peter, Lois, and even Stewie, pointing out how horribly they've treated her.
But it's at my house.
Connie, let me handle this. I'm sorry, Meg. You can't come. There's an ass-to-boob ratio that you're way off of.
For a brief, glorious moment, it looks like Meg might actually break free from her role as the family scapegoat.
Oh, look, honey, he's just a little confused about who he is right now. I'm sure deep down he still loves his big sister.
I hate my school. I hate everyone. I hate my life.
But then, the realization hits her. If she stops being the victim, the entire Griffin family will crumble. And so, in the ultimate act of sacrifice...
All right, let's do it. When we're done with him, he'll be more of an outcast than a seagull at an Adam Sandler movie.
Meg willingly goes back to being the butt of every joke, the victim of every insult, just to keep her dysfunctional family together.
Well, we did it, Connie.
Thanks for your help, Meg.
There's no chance we're gonna be friends now, is there?
Absolutely not.
Can I at least think about you in the tub later?
No.
I'm still gonna.
It's the ultimate tragedy. You fight back, only to realize that you're trapped in a never-ending cycle of abuse. In Brian Sings and Swings, Meg, in yet another sad attempt to fit in, pretends to be a lesbian. Her logic?
But I guess if you're not a lesbian...
Wait, you didn't let me finish. I'm not a lesbian. I'm a super huge mega lesbian.
Oh, good. You'll fit in with the other mega lesbians.
My heart's on fire, Elvira.
Maybe if I can't get boys to like me, I'll try being cool with the girls. But of course, this is Meg Griffin we're talking about, and things go from bad to worse almost instantly. Not only does her ruse fail miserably, but she ends up even more of an outcast, now labeled as the girl who tried to fake her sexuality for attention.
I need to open up.
Sweet.
So get ready, 'cause here it is. My mom was right.
What do you mean?
I'm not gay.
What?
It's the kind of social disaster that only Meg could manage, faking it till you make it, but instead, just digging yourself deeper into humiliation. Honestly, at this point, you'd think Meg would just stop trying. In Steroids, Meg gets what seems like a win. She snags a boyfriend who's not only interested in her, but is also jacked beyond belief, thanks to a little help from steroids. For once, it looks like Meg might finally get a break. But this is Family Guy, and nothing good ever lasts for Meg. Her buff boyfriend's roid rage kicks in, turning him from a sweet, muscle-bound teen into a walking anger management case. And just like that, Meg's brief glimpse of happiness is shattered when he dumps her in a fit of rage. It's like the universe gave her a glimpse of normal teenage love, only to snatch it away and laugh in her face. Finally, we reach Meg Stinks, where Meg's own parents have had enough. Lois and Peter, in their infinite wisdom, decide that the best solution to their annoyance is to send Meg off to a summer camp.
Jeez, Dad. I know you didn't want to take me to my college interview, but I thought we could at least try to have some fun. I mean, come on. This is a big deal for me. I can't believe I'm actually on a road trip with my dad.
Just to get rid of her. That's right. Meg's so unwanted that her own family ships her away like an unwanted package.
I'm stronger than air.
Oh my God, Dad, you lost your hand!
That's all right. I can regenerate. My name is Retep, and I am evil.
And the kicker? When she comes back, absolutely nothing has changed. They're still just as disgusted by her as before. No heartfelt reunion, no "we missed you, Meg." Just more cold shoulders and eye rolls. If ever there was a moment that summed up Meg Griffin's existence, it's this one. Her family can't even pretend to like her for more than 5 minutes. And there you have it. 10 times Meg Griffin was the ultimate victim. While the rest of the Griffin family gets away with absolute chaos, Meg's stuck in a never-ending cycle of rejection, humiliation, and misery. But hey, at least we can all feel better knowing our lives are slightly better than hers. So next time you feel down, just remember, it could always be worse. You could be Meg Griffin. Still watching? Subscribe now to our channel. Otherwise, you might end up with Meg's luck, and let's be real, nobody wants that.